Thursday. And we are live. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gym into Crypto, episode 320. Today is Thursday, January 10th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
At 10-ish. Hello, hello. Hey, Tessa, what's going on?
What's up?
Everybody start to load into here. While we were waiting for the free cryptic coin, who won yesterday?
Oh, yeah. So our winner for yesterday is Ashley Deal. Oh, yeah.
Ashley Deal.
Thank you, Ashley, for your comment in response to our question about the incoming economy. Do you think it'll get worse before it gets better? And some of the things we discussed yesterday as far as the stock market versus Bitcoin. Thank you for your answer. She basically said what we've echoed, that yes, it will probably have to get worse before it gets better, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you for that, and everybody tuning in. Thank you for commenting on those questions.
Thank you. What's going on, Game? I Peep, Allison Thompson, Shannon Allen. Good afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where everybody's at. Sergeant Crypto, what's going on?
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm sure many of you have heard the rumblings, but the top story of the day is boom, quote unquote, Dr. Julian Haas allegedly sold 2.2 million pay tokens prior to TenX resignation. I'm not sure what's the bigger story, the fact that he resigned or the fact that he may have allegedly sold those tokens, because I mean they're both they both cause worry. This is we'll talk about Dr. Julian Haas, but before we start, this guy, I saw him speak a couple of times, and in the back of my head, it was always something wrong. I was like, I can't tell this dude's legit because
bad energy.
Bad energy, right? I think we actually did a best altcoins we buy for 10x and pay, because at the time we did realize, hey, we talk about what's tradable, how you can make money. But as far as the project itself, as it started to develop, it was moving along really fast. A lot of far off wishes as far as what they wanted to accomplish and some things they're trying to. They had the whole fiasco with the pay card and 10x card. Where they had basically tried to put cryptocurrency on the card.
Never came.
And they're supposed to mail those out to different people around Europe, and then the United States supposed to get it, and the United States didn't get it. It was just a big fiasco with the card. It was like, is this happening or not?
Yeah.
Again, it was just a lot of bells and whistles. But it looks like now, as was a Crypto Money Days ICO reported yesterday, that Julian Haas resigned as the president of the crypto debit card provider 10x with immediate effect. The former kite surfing professional justified the step with the future of the company. This can only be guaranteed with his resignation. I don't know. It's a minute and 40 seconds, so let's go ahead and hear what he has to say. This is like some bad acting. That's all.
Yeah, this is.
I can only wish my team the best for the future. They are full rock stars. They're gonna do well. And Toby, take over. I for myself, I'll take a few weeks off. I need to recapture. I move forward.
This is some terrible acting.
Thank you all for support.
Nobody can hear it. Oh, yeah.
Nobody can hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not missing anything. We'll just skip past it, and we can't hear it for now.
Yeah.
He basically was apologizing. He called his team rock stars. He said they do well. But again, this is surprising a lot of people because, they claim they're already shipping their debit card to Singapore.
I doubt it.
Throughout Europe. And a lot of people are going on Reddit and different things saying this is not true. I haven't received mine in weeks and all that good stuff. But it looks like a Reddit thing was started yesterday. The thread was started. It was quotes, has the 10x ex-co-founder Julian Haas spent 2.22 million pay tokens on Bittrex. He posted 2 wealthy EtherX addresses that held a total of 2.2 million pay tokens until they landed on a wallet attributed to the Bittrex crypto exchange. So you can again, this is the beauty of blockchain technology, people. You can see all this stuff. You can go on the internet. So people are saying something to prove it is there. It looks like it is. I don't know what's going on here.
I mean, honestly, Julian Haas has been known as a scammer for a while from people in the industry. Not really surprised, except the fact that with TenX, they did promise a lot. I mean, if you're gonna be a scammer, don't promise a lot of stuff, especially if you're gonna ship out debit cards. Because if you don't do it, it's pretty much over for you. As you can see from this video, he looks sort of like the cowardly lion, basically acting and trying to get out some tears, but he's not really working. But
he's too wealthy to make him go out.
Yeah, I would say, just take your money and run. Hopefully, at some point it might be some litigation, but at this point, it's just another ICO scammer running off into the night.
And here's the thing about that 2.22 million tokens that he made. So that's about 1% of the total supply. So I mean, when you're talking about an entire percent of a total supply, and the CEO is resigning, it's likely that he actually, you know what I mean? That's a pretty good number for a CEO, And again, this guy was calling himself a doctor. I know that was one of the first things that was under scrutiny because people was like, hey, is he a doctor or not? But of course, in the mad rush to get wealthy, people kind of pushed it to the side. I mean, this guy was at every conference out there speaking on stage as an expert, which is, again, that's how I kind of, when I first saw him, I was like, where does this dude come from? And how's he like the expert go-to guy to talk to at all these conferences now? Which again just shows you the ability of marketing and social media. If you can build up your fake profile, people will actually pay you real money and give you real positions, as we see here. But I would say from that YouTube video, if you see the reflection in the mirror, he clearly lives in a very nice condo somewhere above the skyline somewhere. So he's not hurting for money.
Oh yeah, he's chilling in pink polos.
Right. He hasn't been able to provide a statement. Again, if you didn't do anything wrong and you're a CEO, why would you not provide a statement if you resign?
Yeah.
I mean, and you're saying your team's rock stars. If you really care about your team, why wouldn't you put them in the best position to win? Which is he's clearly not doing it. But
yeah,
I don't know. I was telling Zay earlier, if you trust anybody who looks like Frost off a Blade, look, he was a bad guy in my book when I saw him. I knew him from somewhere. And it was definitely from the Blade movies, or the first Blade. He was the bad guy. Then he's the bad guy now.
Oh, yeah.
But it's unfortunate.
Don't trust anybody he looks like the villain in Blade. Don't trust people with ponytails. Don't trust people who name Chauncey.
Right.
Those are the rules.
I just realized why you all couldn't hear it or see it. I didn't bring up the article, Cam. That is on me. But you can't tell me that isn't Frost off Blade right there. That is him, people. Let's see. Let's go to these comments real quick. What's going on, Marcellus Love, Antonio? Antonio called Julian a little scammer, right? Hey, we gotta call him out. I bet he won't be at any more conferences this year, but that's pretty funny. God TV, hello, yeah, cool words.
Shadow Fresh called it out. They were vaporware from the jump,
right? Oh, yep, that is true.
Yep.
Where there is smoke, there is fire. Crypto Ty, Aaron Brooks, what's going on? Ghost Acosta. KH.
Everybody calling for the tar and feathers.
Right? Look, I'm telling you, we start the tar and feather. Look, no one's going to get maimed, all right? No one's going to die from it. It's just going to be some hard lessons learned. And everything will improve after that. Scammers always trying to ice skate uphill. There we go. All right, next story. This is a good story. It kind of goes off the heels of what we discussed yesterday in France with their bank run. It looks like the same day. And it's crazy because, I mean, we were literally getting text messages from some of the people we know that's French, and they were like, hey, you can buy tobacco with Bitcoin, which is, I guess, is big there. But next thing you know, one of the top stories today, French tobacco shops start selling Bitcoin despite regulatory uncertainty. That is what I'm talking about. Like,
exactly.
First of all,
who cares? Be uncertain, regulators.
Hey, everything's uncertain right now.
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to get a wall? Aren't we going to get a wall? I don't know. Are we going to owe money to get taxes back? Who knows what's happening, all right?
Who knows?
But until it's cleared out, let's just start making things happen. But
let's just do it.
Several tobacco shops in Paris, France have started selling Bitcoin for fiat despite regulatory uncertainty. Reuters actually reported that Tuesday, January 8th. Reuters learned that the world's largest cryptocurrency can now be purchased at 6 tobacco shops throughout Paris. However, in a contradicting report, French magazine Capital has claimed that there are as many as 24 shops currently participating in the experiment backed by Kepler, a French cryptocurrency wallet provider. Wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
Big story.
Just slide up in there. I mean, honestly, we keep saying, as far as regulators go, it's a big game of whack-a-mole. They can't catch everybody. And when you have a planned bank run on Saturday, this is a great time to let people buy Bitcoin instead because one of the biggest marketing tools of Bitcoin is the fact that when your government's fiat currency becomes unstable, you have a backup plan. The Bitcoin backup plan looks like it's working. Ideal Zakar, who is the co-founder of Kepler, very smart guy who basically said, hey, if these tobacco shops are going to allow it, I'm going to put it in there. And he wants to expand that project to 6,500 tobacco shops by February.
What? So next month?
By next month.
Next month he's trying to put Paris, France out of business.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, those are fighting and assassination words. I hope he understands that because traditionally France hasn't been the world's friends when it comes to humanitarian issues. How soon do we forget?
Oh, yeah. Saturdays is going to be a big day because if the bank run is at least even a small bit successful, if they get one banking branch to close their doors and say we can't take any more people, that'll be a big win for them. They'll also start looking at alternatives. I can guarantee you the only alternative that seems viable right now is Bitcoin. You can throw gold out there, you can throw silver. I understand, people that love it, but the process of actually getting it and using it is different because you can get gold, you can get silver, but then when you say, hey, well, these stores accept Bitcoin as well, you're like, well, I can't shave off a piece of this gold and go buy anything. So I'd rather have Bitcoin. So
honestly, I thought
it look good.
Weapons and food would probably be worth more than gold and silver. People.
Oh yeah.
If a bank run happens, no one cares about your gold. Like for those out there, who knows how to calculate gold and silver? For one, he's gonna come out with a bunch, like a brick of gold, a bunch of shaved coins or chains, and be like, "Hey,
you talk about
trying to get some eggs and stuff."
Exactly.
Wait, what?
Talk about manipulation. You can make up whatever you want.
And even better, on the flip side, let's say you were gonna accept gold for some type of services. You know how to test it all of a sudden, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't see how that can work right now. I mean, again, we had the video on our Twitter account where you literally have like a little 8-year-old, 12-year-old. Purchasing stuff at a store with a smartwatch. You think they're gonna go around carrying coins? Like, come on, it's not happening.
Gold bricks on 5-year-olds,
right? Yeah, it's plenty of things. I mean, honestly, in California, if cash stopped working, you could get around with cannabis.
Yeah,
you can get around trading cannabis here in California, and you would probably do just as good, not a better job than you could with gold.
Pretty good medium of exchange.
It's a pretty good medium of exchange here. Gold equals need a tester, a knife, and a scale. Right?
Right.
You gotta have like a tool bag when you go out to do transactions.
We doing science experiments for a coffee.
This is crazy. So we're saying anywhere from 6 to 24 now to 6,500 next month. I mean, is that even possible?
Hey man, if it catches on, like I said, Saturday's a big day. Say Saturday something does happen, and somebody already said the French already blinked once. Right. So imagine if they kind of falter at this whole bank run, and people are like, hold up. So we start using Bitcoin. We can just accept Bitcoin at our stores. Then you got an economy running because you'll have people using it. So
wow,
should be fun to see.
So it looks like the French stock market regulator AMF issued a related statement reminding the public of the risk of dealing with cryptocurrencies. In addition to that, AMF stated that PaySafeBit SASU, SASU, the legal entity behind Kepler, was not licensed by French authorities. Way to scare your population.
Yeah.
The risk of dealing with crypto, they're not licensed by us. Again, this is what the regulators in these countries and these governments still don't understand. We don't need to be licensed by you.
Yeah.
Like, who made you in charge?
Yeah, what people just start doing?
You don't have the knowledge or the expertise to license people in this business or in this industry. Like, you literally don't. Not only do you not have the expertise to license people or know how to go about it, the money you have doesn't matter here.
Yeah.
You can, again, if people are actually doing bank runs or people don't want to use your currency, then you can have 10 billion euros, francs, what else were we talking about the other day? Whatever, dollars. It doesn't matter if no one wants to use it. So I do like how the French authorities, again, I told you, these are some fighting words, all right? Those are fighting and assassination words. So I like that they're saying it. But for French authorities, which this statement right here, we'll soon see this with other governments around the world.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to talk about the risks and how it's not licensed by their government once people start using it. But that is crazy. It looks like the French government hasn't imposed a ban, though, on doing it. Because as you say, if they were to actually ban it,
they got to go to every store.
Floodgates are open.
They got to take out every ATM. They got to reprimand every owner. They don't even have the manpower to do it. I wish people would realize it's so many more of us than them. Just stop listening to them. Like, if you ever babysitted or if you ever taken care of like a large group of family members or kids or something like that, like I've babysitted cousins and it'd be like 5 of them at first. Once it gets to about 15, 20, there is no more do this, you do that. It's just like, man, just don't break that. Like,
Right.
like
Don't die today.
Yeah, just don't die. Like, that's basically the point government's gonna get to. Be like, hey, man, just don't kill us. Like, we
Right.
at this point, y'all not gonna listen. Cool, just let us live in our gated communities. But
Right.
yeah, it's at that point now. I think where the tipping point is starting to go towards the people, and the thought process is changing. That's all that needs to happen. Changing the way of thinking.
We keep saying all it takes is for one event and the world will change at this point.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because I think the one biggest oversight that people don't understand is that the technology is here. It works. Like everything is up and running. People like the biggest issues right now are just scaling issues to make sure the network can hold more people. You know what? That isn't a problem because I saw an article the other day that's talking about the new 5G that's coming out that promises to be 600 times faster than 4G.
Yeah.
Now, what's going to happen when we get this new 5G on our phones? We realize how much faster 600 times faster actually is, right? You won't even be able to imagine, how do we do 4G before that? Well, before that, 3G. Before that, 10 years prior, 15, 20 years prior, there was dial-up to get on the internet. You know what I mean? Before we got the Wi-Fi. So it's one of those things, every industry has faced a scaling issue. Cryptocurrency's facing it as well, but that's not going to stop it from working. I mean, the tech itself works. The fact that you can put these in 6,500 stores in a month and have people starting to utilize cryptocurrency as a medium of exchange rather than fiat currency says it all. So
Super dope.
Right.
Yeah, let's get it going, France.
all right. Next story up. 2/3 of the Korean crypto exchanges failed government security check. Wow.
Word.
Wonder what type of security check this is.
Oh, yeah.
Only 1/3 of cryptocurrency exchanges inspected got a full pass in a recent government security audit. I wonder how much they paid their government. But what's going on with this story?
Oh, yeah. So they basically came up with 85 different security aspects that they would use to look at exchanges, just basically see if they're doing the right thing. They have had a problem with hacks. They have had, a couple big ones. CoinRail lost 40 million. BitHum lost 30 million. So there have been some hacks at exchanges. The only 7 that made it were Upbit, BitHum, GoPax, Corbit, CoinOne, HanBitco, and Huobi Korea. And all of these are the top 7 or 8 exchanges that are available. So I'm pretty sure they had the money to go through
So
it.
the moat was built.
Yeah, the moat was built. And to be, the 14 exchanges that didn't, receive the full pass, they're basically vulnerable to hacking attacks and they have poor security. But in order to get good security, you need money. So they basically got caught in that wedge between, well, we're trying to just get as much money as possible before we get famous enough to get hacked. But they basically came in and was like, well, no, you can't operate at all. So if you don't have the money to operate an exchange, it's getting harder and harder. And Korea has proven that by basically saying, 2/3 of y'all aren't ready for the big time. So that's their opinion, because I would argue that some of the 7 that got cleared,
Right.
they could get hacked
a couple
tomorrow.
have been hacked
They've been
already,
hacked
actually.
yeah.
So
they may have fixed the issue
Right.
or came up with a way to explain it away. But I mean, this whole government security audit that they do on these exchanges, it's kind of convoluted.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, there's definitely a capital play at the end of this because, as we said, some of these exchanges have already been hacked, and maybe they fix it up or whatever. But you're telling a new exchange that's never been hacked. Well, you all look like you could be hacked, but you're allowing an exchange that's already been hacked to be in. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it, but doesn't make sense type of deal. And not only that, like you said, again, in this instance, who's the government to determine that?
Yeah.
Let's say that these are the 7 exchanges that you decided to pass through. You know what you just did for a lot of hackers? They're going to say, actually, we don't care about those other 14. We're going to go after the 7 that's clearly going to have all the volume in it. It's going to have all the customers, all the clients. Now, the government's probably thinking the opposite. They're thinking, they're saying, now, hey, these are the 7 we're going to protect. That's what they're saying. If you come after these 7, we're going to come right back at you just as hard.
We need our cut.
Right, because we need our cut, exactly. But hackers don't care because they're in other countries. They're using VPNs. You can't track some of these guys, especially the good ones.
Some of them are bots.
It won't be a deterrent. I mean, don't get me wrong. They still might hack all the 14 exchanges.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the easy pickings that doesn't have the government support,
Yeah.
they'll definitely get attacked as well. But to think that you have these other 7 that has this government stamp of approval, I think you're misdirecting investors there because they're really going to believe it has a government stamp of approval.
Yeah.
And for a lot of hackers and hacking groups who actually just really enjoy hacking, some of them are wealthy already, which is how they get these exploits. They buy them on the dark web for $300,000, $400,000 an exploit.
Yeah.
But they take that as a challenge. They want to be number 1 in their industry too.
Yeah,
What better way to be
What
number
better way
1
to do it?
than to take down one of the top 7 that you claim is secure and all that. So
Especially in Korea with a lot of volume. So,
right. So
yeah, and Shannon Allen actually said they're going to make exchanges, make the coins do security audits now. They're expensive. Hey, think about it this way: the FDA, all of the food that you eat, the FDA approval is what people go off of, right? FDA doesn't actually audit mostly anything. They only audit like 10% of it. Everything else that they get is an internal audit from the company sent to the FDA because it costs too much time. There's not enough resources. You can't audit everything. So you just have to take people at their word and basically go off the history of the company. If the company is reputable and they send in a positive report, which they usually will because they want to keep their business going. But if you look at the crypto world, some of these exchanges, the government audit that they're getting, they could have just done a security patch just to pass it and then went back to the old way.
That's very true.
So I was like, yeah, we got cold storage. Yeah, we got two-factor authentication for all our users. We got KYC. And then as soon as they do the audit, they could just, kind of shuffle things around like, oh, actually, we got a hot wallet that's that's running all at all times. So, it's one of those things where an audit from a government shouldn't really move you as much as an internal or community audit. When crypto does proof of keys, or crypto says, people in crypto say this exchange sucks, that should be more important than these government audits.
That's true.
Honestly.
Well, my thing with the government audits in general is, where are you finding these mid to upper mid-level management folks and all these government agencies that already know about crypto to the point they can audit someone?
Exactly.
That's the main thing.
You know more than us?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because the market moves very fast to the point where if you haven't really been on an 18 to 24-hour cycle with it, at some points of these last 10 years has been alive, you missed out on a lot. But you're telling me that a government worker who already had a job, responsibilities, probably a family, we're talking government, a couple kids, soccer, who knows? They've had enough time in the last year and a half, because that's really when they started paying attention. Let's say 2 to 3 years. In the last 2 or 3 years, they've had enough time to basically become as close to as a high-level professional, if not an expert, at it, to where they say, well, we can audit you and let you know what you need to do.
We'll let you know.
I just don't see how it happened, because everyone who's at that level in cryptocurrency, here's a big secret, people. They're in cryptocurrency. Yeah. They're not doing anything. They're not working as a part-time
government auditor.
No. If people know that much about cryptocurrency, where they actually could audit something, they're into crypto. Because there's no reason to leave it. So
I'm sure me and King could go and do some audits.
We could do some audits
for certain companies that need blockchain experts.
Low key, we already did audits.
Yeah, exactly.
Places didn't change their terms of service after we called them out twice on it.
Honestly, yeah. But I mean, if you just want somebody to console or go forward, we could definitely do it. But the people who do it in government, they're not us. They're not here every day. They're not doing
I don't
news.
get where they get this expertise from.
I don't either, because Bitcoin is, it's 24 hours, so it's 3 times as much as the stock market.
Right.
So you really get way more experience being in it. Like, being in it 5 years is like 15.
Right.
Being in it 1 or 2 is like, okay, well, cool, but that's still not expert status.
I'm not seeing the hours. I'm just not seeing the hours here. It doesn't make sense.
Impossible, man.
Of course, that's us and our rational way of thinking. However, from the business point of view, we know the truth. It's all about this paper. It's all about the money. It's all about stifling competition and innovation in this area at this point. It's unfortunate we got to that point, but that's the world. I mean, that's when you have different capitalistic societies and thought processes, that's what it's about. It's not about allowing everyone to flourish and figuring out. No, they're like, no, we want our groups, we want our businesses to flourish, and everybody else, good luck. So
powerful people want to stay in power.
Right. We're seeing that here, and that's okay. Whatever.
It's all good.
The people will speak. The market speaks at all times, and I think, like I said, they might have put a target on these 7 crypto exchanges back by making them the unhackables. I guess.
Huge target.
Right. Oh, Maltese celebrities notify police after false report of involvement in crypto investment scheme. That's right. When it comes to scams and schemes, we had said we were going to report on it a lot more this year, since we didn't realize people were actually falling for some of these.
Still falling for it.
But I like how this newspaper, they just got the headphones on reading scam news like it's normal at this point.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the photo shows. They got a picture of a little crypto coin up there, and they're just like,
what else to do?
Yeah. What's going on with this story?
Oh, yeah. So there was an article in the Malta newspaper that basically said it was a fake endorsement of Bitcoin Revolution, which is not a real company or a real ICO, but basically it showed two of the hosts of the One Breakfast Show and an actor, David Tucci, that they had actually bought 250 euros of Bitcoin Revolution, and that in 3 minutes it had actually increased to 483 euros, which of course, that is just, come on, people. If you buy any investment, they actively in their ad tell you, hey, in 3 minutes they made $200. Come on, man.
Guarantee you can make all your money back in 120 seconds.
Yeah, come on, man. That is ridiculous. But they the 3 people that notified the paper that it was fake. It was all just fake news. They just had a ad come out stating that they use Bitcoin Revolution, which of course people are followers, so they think, oh well, if it's good enough for David Tucci, it's good enough for me. So these people started going in.
We got a live one, folks.
We got a few.
Right.
Straight them in. Let's pull them in.
There we go.
And it's funny because the 3 people who made the allegations, they said this is clearly a scam and clickbait. Please don't buy into this. Thank you, because there are some people that will. Especially noted by the millions of dollars made by Ethereum scammers over the past year or so. So something like this isn't beyond the scammer to say this or to have false advertisement, but it is weird that it went into the famous side of the world where they started using famous people. But think about the ICOs like Paragon and all that. I mean, they might have had ICOs speak, but they don't know what they were talking about. They just gave them some words. This wasn't really any different. They just didn't have any words to give them about it. So just another scam.
This is crazy. I mean, I'm over here thinking, this morning we were actually speaking with a company that does smart contracts, so checking those out. Mm-hmm. If there's any way to incorporate the smart contracts into ICOs to the point where, say put a 3-year limit on it. In 3 years, if you all haven't done X, Y, and Z, this money gets credited back to my crypto account.
Yeah, and they have that ability.
Right. I would love to see that because I think that alone, that's self-regulation.
Yeah.
That would stop a lot of the scams alone, or at least it would prolong them.
Yeah.
It'd be like,
you gotta have some loan money.
Yeah, you gotta have loan money. It's like, you've been scamming for 4 years straight for this payoff? Like, what are you doing?
For
like,
10 million?
You could have just put a team together and did it. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so I mean, it's just one of those things where it's good that people are reporting on it. It's good to see these stories. I know sometimes it's scam heavy and it seems FUD heavy in crypto, but we have to keep pushing these stories out there so more people know about it because, again,
no scammers over here.
Yeah, after the next bull run, we're going to have a whole new slew of new people who've never heard about cryptocurrency. It's going to be a whole new wave of people who never heard about crypto. They're going to walk in, you're going to think you're the OG, and they're going to tell you, you don't know what you're talking about. This new coin that was made by this basketball player over here or this musician actually knows everything in crypto, what he's talking about, and you are missing out. You're just hating.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Let's see. Oh, it looks like PFC Wells. I've been saying that about smart contracts in last year. I know it's right. It's crazy. What's going on, Cheryl?
Yeah.
Gervais Wright. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, well, smart contracts capability, they have the ability to lock up funds for a certain period of time. The crazy thing about it is most projects don't do it. They only do it for developers. They have something where they can lock it up. Like Zcash has that, I think, where they have a payoff for developers in the future or for founders, early founders, but they don't do it for the actual investors. Like, oh, you can invest, but in 3 years, if this coin hasn't moved or if development is up to your liking, it'll go back to you. That would actually secure your ICO more than anything else. Right. But unfortunately, you don't want to do that because if something does happen, some sort of black swan event, maybe a CEO passes away or
one just resigns and takes his money with
something
them.
Crazy. Yeah, something crazy happens. Yeah, like, that would be hilarious. Somebody run off with it. Yeah.
And I actually haven't checked the coin market cap price for TenX to their pay token or whatever. Did you see it yet?
Not yet.
So I do want to see if there's any type of drop off or if it's still maintained. I'll check it out in a second. But first, before we do, let's talk about this new article on CoinDesk. The 10, or I won't even say it's an article. It's a, what is it? What do you call it? An interactive?
Yeah, their first interactive story. So
okay, what is the 10 untold Bitcoin stories?
Yeah,
okay.
To celebrate their 10th birthday.
All right.
They got a few videos, a lot of history stuff, some of the Bitcoin meme tweets.
Oh, I like this.
They talk about the best Bitcoin videos that came out and all that, culture and art. So all the categories that they have currently, the 4 categories: how I found Bitcoin, war stories, the wizards, and culture and art. So good way to look at how Bitcoin has progressed through the years. If you don't know the history of Bitcoin, it's always good to look back and laugh at some of this stuff, because some of these names that come out, I remember them from back in the day. I'm like, man, whatever happened to that guy? But some of these are just hilarious to look at, very informative. I like it.
Right, I'm gonna say some good information here. They got this This policy group started as Ross Ulbricht was getting arrested.
Yeah,
looks like a good thing. Like I said, that's under war stories. Oh wow, we got some real war stories. Drugs, sex, and scaling. Gavin Andreessen's best Bitcoin quotes.
Yeah.
Wow. Bitcoin meme tweets, like you said. The first physical Bitcoin had a typo, of course. Like you said, there's a lot of good stuff in here.
Yeah, a lot of stuff I didn't even realize some of it. But yeah, pretty good from CoinDesk. Shout out to them.
Why Silk Road won't always be a black eye for Bitcoin. Wow. Yeah, shout out to you guys. Way to put this together.
Yep.
And you know what? One thing definitely. Bitcoin's birthday was 7 days ago, right? Then this just came out. So definitely want to highlight. Oh, it's cool. We got a lot of little clicks, places you can click. Want to highlight. That's. Kudos to them for putting this together. Everything doesn't have to go by the deadline or wherever. They put out a good product, and this is something I think that can actually last on the web for a long time with all this information here. So, really good to see. Other than that, what are we doing for the free cryptic coin today?
So for the free cryptic coin, visit CoinDesk. Look at those 10 years in review or 10 untold stories. Let us know what your favorite story on there is, or your favorite history thing, and we will send you those free cryptic coins.
All right. As always, thanks for watching, folks, and have a happy Thursday. Oh, there we go. Hold on. CryptoQ said 10x is down 13%. All right. Thank you. I was just about to check it up.
Yep.
All right.
20% in 24 hours.
Right. Basically.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Well, it's what happens when your CEO just exit scam left.
Moonwalk right off the stage.
There it is. Oh, y'all thought it was staying. Oh, no. I wasn't. This is real. All right. Other than that, have a great day, folks. We will see you all tomorrow. Cheers.
Cheers.